So you've just been out in the Rodin FZ. Can you tell us about it? Like, for the viewers at home, what was that like to drive? What is it like to drive?
You can probably tell I've still got my adrenaline going a little bit. It's awesome. It takes your speech away, really. It's such a cool car. It's so fast.
Okay, so we're here in the Rodin pit garage. Louis Sharp, for those that don't know who you are, can you just quickly explain who you are and what you do?
My name's Louis Sharp. I'm 16 years old from Christchurch, New Zealand, and I'm a professional racing driver, and I've been racing in British F4 this season.
So we've got Liam here as well. Liam has been sidelined. You got to drive today.
Yeah, I'm
feeling You're the young guy. You're like the apprentice.
Feel a bit bad for Liam, but no, I got asked to do it, but I wasn't going to say no to the opportunity. So as soon as it came about, I was instantly yes, I'd love to do that. So sorry, Liam, but yeah.
And you've come off some pretty awesome results. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's been a cool year. It was my first full year competing overseas in the UK. I did a season last year, but wasn't old enough to do the full championship. So no, first full season this year. It was a really good year. We ended up winning the championship, so it was really cool to get that done in the end. It was super competitive though, so it came right down to the last race. There's only 1 point between me and second place, so it made it tough, but we were able to get it done in the end.
And winning a championship in Europe, what does that mean for your career?
It means a lot. Obviously, F4 is the first pathway on the road to Formula One. But all great drivers have won championships like this, so it's cool to have my name on that trophy against the likes of like Lando Norris, for example. Awesome experience, but no, really cool to have been able to win in the end. I think going forwards, it's definitely put my name out there, and hopefully in the eyes of the right people.
And today is Rodin Sponsored Drivers Day. Can you tell us about your journey with Rodin so far? How did it come about?
Yeah, so Rodin picked me up start of 2022, racing my Formula Ford at my local track down in Christchurch, Ruapuna. Rodin was there with Liam Lawson doing some show laps in the FZ. So yeah, obviously. I mean, I knew a little bit about them beforehand, but not too much. But as a young guy wanting to get to Formula One, seeing that F1 car there was it instantly caught my attention. The weekend it was a pretty good weekend. Got a few wins, and David and Emma approached us after the meeting and asked if we wanted to come up here to do a few laps in the F3 car, which we did, and then that went really well. And then they threw me in the FZ for a go. I was only 14 at the time, so it was a big step up from driving Formula Ford the week before to an F1 car. Was pretty crazy, but then after that they decided they wanted to take me over to the UK, sponsor me to be able to go over and just do what I love, really. So no, I've got to give a big thanks to them. They've really helped me a lot. They've gotten me here so far in my career, and I'm hoping that we can stay together for the future.
And it really must have been a dream come true having someone like Rodin pick you up and take you to Europe.
100%. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for them. So I really got to thank them for all the success I've had and for all the support. And obviously, it's my dream to get to Formula One, and I wouldn't even be close to it if it wasn't for Rodin. So I've got to give a massive thanks to them.
Nice one. All the best, Louis.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Liam Lawson, welcome back to New Zealand.
Nice to be back. Nice to be
home. And 2023. How was it? How good? Tell us a little bit about it.
Biggest year yet. They always get like that, to be honest, which is obviously it's a good thing. It's been a crazy year. What started going into a normal campaign, normal championship with Super Formula, and then obviously later in the season having the call up to do a couple of Grand Prix was obviously a big change up. It was a very, very busy time, but obviously a dream come true for me as well.
And so obviously most people know that you've done Formula One. What does it mean behind the scenes? Like, did you start getting recognised more? How has things changed outside or away from motorsport?
I think you, as a driver, as you progressing towards Formula One, you're obviously trying to make the steps and prepare yourself for the step to drive a Formula One car and to basically embrace the team environment with a huge amount more people than what you're used to. But one thing you don't expect is everything else that comes along with that, the media sides, the publicity and the attention that you sort of get when you walk into the paddock or when you're to be honest, maybe even walking down the street, it's definitely a lot different than it was before. But the support, especially from New Zealand, has been absolutely incredible since driving.
And on that night, coming back to New Zealand, I feel like every year you come back, you're getting a little bit more and a little bit more famous. Yeah. This time around, have you noticed it?
it's been a bigger step than normal, yes. But I think as New Zealanders, I think we're in our nature, it's to be a lot more respectable, respectful, and not. I think we respect people's privacy. We're not really forwards about that. And honestly, since I've been here, everyone's been super, super friendly. I definitely have had a lot more support around the street, but it's been really, really cool.
Yeah, and mixing and mingling with, if you like, the F1 stars, what are they like in person? You know, the Max Verstappens.
Normal guys, just normal people. As reserve, I've got to sort of see everything in behind the scenes and sort of observe how, especially guys like Max, how they operate, which has been a massive learning process and has been really helpful to me. But then when I jumped in, he was, as Max especially, was super open to giving advice. He's always been very, very friendly. And yeah, they're just normal people.
And the travel, what's the travel like? Does it take a load?
It's probably the hardest part about racing in Formula One or being a part of the team is the travel, going to all the races or tests or whatever you're doing. It's it takes a big toll, that's for sure. Towards the end of the season, you do a lot more of the flyaways, and last year was probably a bit more rough just because we had the Japan Super Formula races in between all of the F1 stuff, so we sort of had a bit more extra travel, but it's part of the game.
And the Super Formula, so close.
I'm second now. Way too many times. It was frustrating, and I think that was potentially the one that really slipped away from us. We sort of were in a good position, but yeah, coming second. Anything that's left now, to be honest, is Formula One. So that's obviously next on the list.
Yeah, but let's be real. Like, it was incredible. The results were awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good season, but it probably makes it even more frustrating knowing that we came straight in and had speed straight away. The team, the way the sort of team environment was really, really cool. They were very welcoming and very professional, and we had the ability to win this year. So it was frustrating.
And the Japanese culture, what's it like?
Very, very focused. They're very, very hardworking, but really, really respectful. So, it's definitely it was a big learning curve, and I didn't realize before going there just how professional and how serious and high level the championship was. It's a much closer step to Formula One than Formula 2 was, and honestly, I'm really glad I'd done at least majority of the season of Super Formula before getting the call up for F1, because I think if I hadn't have done it, it would have been a bigger step.
The cars do look good, and they look fast.
Yeah, they are really, honestly, they're really good. It was really cool. The last round we had a big load of our support group came over for it, and all the feedback I got was, holy moly, I didn't realize the cars were that quick. So it's something that the world probably doesn't see as much, but they are very, very serious.
Yeah, and the Rodin FZ. So today you were sidelined, Louis.
Yeah,
to drive.
I'm reserve driver again.
And this morning we did make a little joke to Liam that, Liam was reserved. But Louis, I mean, he's done so good. Yeah. I mean, really he's following your footsteps. How good is that to see him coming through the ranks? It's
really, really cool. It's cool because I also see it in the UK as well. We spend quite a bit of time together, whether we're trainings together. I've come to some of his earlier races in F4 as well, and he's doing a really, really good job. His mindset is probably the most impressive part about him. He's very, very focused, very committed, very competitive as well. Spent a few gym sessions together, doing a couple of little races, it's very cool to see. So he needs to obviously keep that mindset, and I'm sure he'll be sweet. Yeah,
and do you think New Zealand drivers are starting to get recognised on the world stage?
It's interesting because I think we definitely have there's a level of respect whenever, even in Formula One, that when you're introduced as a New Zealand driver, the teams, whoever I've been working with, have always been like, oh, and there's almost a level of respect there, because I think in the past as well, we've had very strong New Zealand drivers. Something about our country, the way that we build drivers, the way that the sort of develops, probably the tracks that we race on, the series, getting in a car at a very young age as well. Both Louis and myself were in cars very, very young.
You've been on your own vlogging journey. Can you tell us about making your videos and your YouTube?
It's a learning process. It's definitely something that's the idea is to try and give a bit more behind the scenes, a bit more background of what it's like in our sort of everyday life. And whenever we're doing some really cool stuff, sort of showing people what we're up to. But it's definitely a learning process. It's something that I'm gonna get better at for sure. I'm enjoying it, and the feedback's been really cool.
Yeah, and what has surprised you the most about making your own videos?
I think I would say the awkwardness of holding your camera walking around by yourself in the middle of a shopping mall and you're doing this, and everyone's just like, what the hell is that guy doing?
Yeah.
That's probably the most difficult part about it, but it's not difficult. It's enjoyable, and it's cool to give people an insight of sort of what we get up to.
So have you been making any videos since you've been back here in New Zealand?
Yeah, we have some. We have a load of content actually that's about to come out in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that's going to be exciting.
Can you give us a teaser?
We have a little project going, a little project car. Can't announce what it is, but I think it's exciting. Hopefully, it's sort of comes together as we want it to. It's been a cool project so far, and in the end, it's a big project for charity as well, which is probably the coolest part.
Awesome. And so obviously today is a Rodin Driver Sponsor Day. Can you tell us about your own Rodin journey and what it's done for you and your career?
It's been amazing. I was thinking about it because we were looking at the F-Zero today, and in the back of the shop was the older Formula 3 car, the car that I first drove when I came here.
We filmed it. We were there.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
That was the day of pretty much both of our debuts at Rodin.
That's pretty much when MoMac started too.
Yeah, and that was how many years ago? Six years ago?
Yeah.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a.
It feels like ages ago because so much has happened in between, and I mean, really, like a lot of that is a credit to your supporters and the likes of David and Rodin Cars. So
yeah, it's been from my journey started just basically, David was kind enough to let me test in the background and come here and keep sharp over the off season, and then when it came to a point where we needed to race in a much higher championship, especially going towards Formula 2. David and Rodin.
And on that note, like motorsport is incredibly expensive, and it just keeps getting more expensive the higher up you get. Like, how important for young drivers or drivers in general is support?
It's the most important part for sure. It's something that's obviously motorsport is very, very tough, especially on the route towards Formula 1. It's probably the toughest, and that's the part that's probably the most difficult, especially from New Zealand. So to have David and a company like this here, to have the support, to be supporting not just myself, but also almost developing multiple drivers now, and helping them reach that path and get on that journey towards Formula 1. It's pretty exciting. It's something that I think in the future is something I would love to be able to do as well, something similar, to try and make it that little bit easier.
And looking forward to the year ahead, 2024, what can we expect from you professionally and maybe personally?
So in the background, it'll be YouTube vlogs. I hopefully will keep those going. Yep, exactly. But other than that, I'll be full-time working with Red Bull Racing and AlphaTauri, and basically doing my reserve role with them. So spending lots of time in the factory, in the simulator, working alongside the team, and then traveling to the races as well, working with the team. It's a big learning process. It's something that I've been doing it now for 2 years, and there's so much to learn with Formula 1 and even in this position, obviously I want to be driving, but I will still be absorbing a whole lot of information. Yeah,
and also the pink. We love that you're still rocking the pink. I think it's here to stay.
It's here to stay. It's something that I think I pretty much set on it at the start of 23. Something that's, I kind of played around with a couple of different things, but I like it the most. I think it's cool, and I'll be sticking with it this year as well.
That's so good. It's a good touch. Thank you, Liam.
No, thanks very much.
All the best for the year ahead.
Thank you.